All right. Hello, everyone. This is Mike Linkenauger with Short Sale Specialist Network. Joining me on this live webinar is Randy Cochran, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing started here. I've already got a couple people saying, I signed up for the Removing Short Sales from Credit Reports. Is this the same? Guys, you are on that webinar. What we're talking about in general on this webinar is credit repair and credit restoration in general. So we're going to talk about common credit myths, truths, and what you can expect, and really how you can go about getting turning your short sale sellers into buyers quickly. So we'll go ahead and get things kind of started here. Again, I'm Mike Linkenauger with the Short Sale Specialist Network, and joining me is Randy Cochran. Randy, how you doing today?
Doing well, Mike. Thanks for having me on today's webinar.
It's always a pleasure to have you. You know, I know Randy well. I met him at a conference several months back and had the privilege to hang out with him a lot on the Short Sale Symposium at Sea a few months ago as well. Randy, how are things out there? Are you out in Salt Lake City today, in Utah?
Oh, they're beautiful today. Sunny skies. Still have a little bit of snow on the mountains, but spring's definitely here. We're very fortunate to enjoy the weather that we have every day here.
All right. Well, I wish I could say the same thing about Florida weather right now. Unfortunately, we're having this tropical storm here, and it is a complete mess. Definitely a rainy day here, and it's going to be a rainy next couple of days, but yeah, we make the best of it. We're used to it around here. Well, guys, turn up Mike or turn down Randy. We just got that comment right there. Randy's going to be doing a lot of the talking here. I'll try to talk as loud as I can so people can hear me. But we're going to go ahead and somebody says Mike is very faint. So in just a second, Randy's going to kind of start, and he's going to talk a little bit about credit repair. Randy, let's talk a little bit about credit while we're still waiting for people to show up here, okay? Tell us what's the latest and greatest with credit.
Well, I don't know if very many individuals that are on today's webinar had a chance to see an article that was in USA Today on April 7th. It was titled Mortgage Hassles Frustrating You, and as of last fall, according to the article, the average successful applicant for a Fannie Mae-backed mortgage, which is now the typical circumstance or typical loan, actually had a FICO credit score of nothing short than a stellar 769. Now we know that to qualify for FHA at VA loans, they go anywhere between 620 and 640, and that's a huge gap. What was even more shocking when I read that article is that the average applicant that was denied a Fannie Mae-backed mortgage, they actually had a very respectable credit score of 734. So the marketplace and the climate, there's lenders out there with lots of money right now. If you saw the reports that most of the banks posted, they had the best revenue that they've had in years. Some of them broke records here recently, but they're still not lending that money. You basically have to have a gold brick in your pocket right now to get a mortgage loan, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today, especially towards the end of the call, is how soon you can get a mortgage loan after a short sale takes place. And I'm actually going to share with everyone on today's webinar a program that's out there that's actually 1 day after a short sale closing that a person can get a loan, and what those guidelines are. So that's going to be really some valuable information. In addition to that, I always like to mention this when we start our webinars. Everybody should have a pen and piece of paper handy, because some of the stuff that we're going to cover today is very important information that can really help take your real estate business to the next level. And one thing that I'd like everybody to understand is I am a real estate broker just like everybody on the call, and so I'm in the trenches and I'm going through all the same challenges that everybody else is. I just happen to implement this program into my core real estate business over 3 years ago just because I didn't want my short sale sellers out of the market for a long period of time. I wanted to find a way to get 2 checks instead of 1. And so that's what we're really going to share with everybody on today's webinar.
Very good. You know, that's so critical, Randy. Hopefully everybody can hear me better right now. But you know, what Randy is talking about is that it's not as easy to get a loan as it used to. The liquidity on the market is there in loans available, but man, you have to have a credit superstar to qualify for a Fannie Mae backed loan right now. So the whole point of this webinar is to discuss, well, yes, we want to talk about how to get items like short sales and foreclosures removed from credit reports. We're going to talk about how important credit repair and restoration is, especially to the many agents on here who do a lot of short sales and work with a lot of homeowners that have horrible credit. What can you do to create a funnel? Randy, you're a licensee too. You know, I am as well. I own a brokerage here in Northeast Florida, and it's so huge that we create a funnel of business that keeps coming, and it works all the time for us. So it is so critical when we have these people who the last few years, look, we've helped them do short sales, or we're working short sales with them now. We want to turn those back into our funnel of buyers, people who can buy a property from us quickly and get another commission. So what we're going to do, the people that are on this call, if you have any questions, please save them. Please hold them. Randy's going to be speaking a lot. People say that my voice is too low, so I'm going to try to speak up as much as I can. But Randy is going to do a lot of the talking for the next few minutes here. So, Randy, I'm going to pull up this information here. If you're on the call right now, you should be able to see my screen right now. At the second, you should be able to see this slide right here that says Credit in the New Economy. United Credit Education Services. So this is Randy's company, so I'm going to let Randy take over for the next few minutes. And then again at the end, we will answer all of your questions.
Wonderful. Thanks, Mike. As Mike mentioned, my name is Randy Cochran. I'm a National Sales Director with United Credit Education Services. We're going to share a lot of valuable information, just not about our short sale sellers. I'm actually going to slide a couple things in there about buyers because it's unfortunate. But after we sold all these homes to these short sale sellers, a lot of agents have just basically gotten their paycheck and then forgot about them. They really haven't followed up, and believe me, those people are out there and they're re-entering the marketplace, especially in the hottest areas like California, like Las Vegas, like Phoenix, Arizona, the places that are already rebounding. And I just want to throw a little bonus out there. If you're holding open houses, especially if you're holding them in a short sale, which is a fantastic idea because they're priced right, if you want to triple your traffic on your open house signs, just put a sign rider on that says bad credit okay. You're going to get 3 times as many people through your property, but at the same time, a lot of those people that are coming through might not have as bad of credit as they think they do. And that's one more thing that we're going to talk about as we move through. But as we get started, one of the things that I implemented into my business over 3 years ago was our VIP Seller Recovery Program. And what we were doing with our short sale sellers was at the time of the listing appointment, them what their plan was. Now sometimes those people, they were in so much pain because of the short sale. Maybe they tried to do a loan modification, they had their hopes up that they were going to keep their home. That really didn't happen, and so now they were faced with that short sale situation, and I had tons of my short sale sellers at closing tell me time and time again, I'm never buying another home. And they say that until they have to make that move into an apartment complex, or even worse, maybe they're living with a mother-in-law or a father-in-law that they may not be getting along with. And they would be coming back to us a short time later saying, I told you at closing I never wanted to buy again, but my situation now, I really want to buy again because I don't like the situation that we're in, and how do we do that? And so we looked at all the different ways that we could provide a valuable source of information for our sellers. So the first thing that we always talked about with our clients was credit counseling services, because a lot of our clients had more debt than what they wanted and just couldn't really afford the home and all the other stuff they had because they had over-purchased or overspent during their home ownership. And so consumer credit counseling is definitely an option. And if a person was in consumer credit counseling, they can actually get an FHA loan 1 year after the payout for consumer credit counseling has elapsed, as long as they're getting permission from the agency to enter into a new mortgage. And that's actually an FHA guideline. Now, student loans are a whole new caveat to that. We've gone out, we found a company that renegotiates student loans because a lot of times, again, people have gone to school, they're a burden on their family, they're a burden on their financial household, and they, that was just another way that we could cut a homeowner's expenses so that they could start saving money again. Bankruptcy is a valid option for some sellers, especially if they didn't receive a full release of the deficiency or of the debt. Lots of sellers that had key bank seconds, for example, where they did lien releases only. They couldn't participate in a HAFA program. They had to go traditional short sale. So bankruptcy is a valid option. We're going to talk about the timelines for bankruptcy and short sale towards the end on how long it actually takes for a person to get into a home loan after that short sale takes place or a bankruptcy takes place, for example. Credit restoration, that's what we're going to talk about on today's call. And then IDAs. What an IDA is, you can go to cfed.org. That is an individual development account. It's for low-income individuals. It's a savings program that the government has put in place. We utilize this program a lot with our low-income sellers, so they become buyers again. We can get them a 100% loan in the state that we're in to repurchase. We just have to make sure their credit score is at least a 660. And so if you go to cfed.org, you're going to see that these individuals can set up a savings account. For every $1 that they deposit, it's going to get cash matched with $3. So over a very short period of time, your seller, soon-to-be new buyer, can save up to $6,000 to put toward their down payment on their next home. Now, one of the things that I've been saying for several years, and lots of agents that we work with, is our unique value proposition. And we've been saying, buy your home with me and we'll fix your credit for free, or sell your home with me and we'll fix your credit for free if they're a short sale seller. So when our buyers are coming to our short sale open houses, or they're calling on our short sale listings and they just don't qualify because of credit, most real estate agents say, when your credit score gets to 640, call me back, and they just hang up. Well, that potential home buyer is never calling them back. But instead of saying that, we just simply say, no problem, we have a program for that, when can we meet? And of course, we're going to have them talk with our preferred lending partner as quickly as possible, see what their exact situation is, and then we're going to have them enroll in our credit restoration program. And at the end of the day, when they finally repurchase a home from us, we're going to give them a broker credit at closing. Kind of the same thing. If you're going out on a short sale listing, and right now you may be competing for short sale listings depending on the price point, that's just another thing that you could say to a seller to separate yourself from another real estate agent is, you know what, sell your short sale with me, we'll fix your credit for free. And at the end of the day, just have them enroll in our restoration program. After the sale takes place, when they repurchase, you just give them a broker credit again at closing. So that's that's something that you're going to want to keep in mind as we move through the presentation today. But before we get to the guidelines that we're going to talk about on how to get short sales removed from credit, let's talk about the 10 biggest myths about credit, because I really want everybody to understand how credit works, because there is a lot of misinformation about credit in the marketplace. So myth number one is credit agencies are empowered with some kind of government authority. And it's a misnomer that credit agencies are actually owned by the government. And in reality, credit agencies have no legal authority at all. They're simply providing private companies who are in the business of selling credit information. So their job as a credit reporting agency is to pull up or dig up as much dirt on individuals as possible, put it in each individual's credit portfolio, and then sell that information to any type of company that's going to provide credit. So we can move on to myth number 2. Myth number 2 is the credit agencies are required by law to keep derogatory items on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. And there's actually no law that says that a credit agency can report anything on you at all. It's actually just the opposite. Credit agencies are required by law to automatically remove derogatory items that are older than 7 years, or in the case of a bankruptcy, 10 years. We actually have a client in our program right now that their bankruptcy is showing on their credit that's 12 years old. And it's ironic because it's been penalizing them for a lot longer than it should be, and at the same time, the credit reporting agencies, there isn't anybody sitting in a cubicle saying, Mr. and Mrs. Smith's bankruptcy is 10 years old today at 5 o'clock, I think I'll take it off tomorrow morning. They just don't do that. And so, so those items legally should be coming off, but unless a person does anything about them, they don't. Myth number 3, and I just mentioned bankruptcy, and it's impossible to get a bankruptcy off, which exactly the opposite of true. Bankruptcies come off just like any other derogatory item that's incorrectly reported. It's obsolete, it's erroneous, it's misleading, it's incomplete, or that can't be verified. Remember, the nature of the item has nothing to do with its removal. We're just simply leveraging the Fair Credit Reporting Act the way that we should be. Myth number 4, the information on your credit report can't be changed. And again, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, both federal and various state laws require that items need to be removed if they're not 100% accurate or can't be verified in a timely manner. And that's something that we're actually going to talk about here in just a few minutes, on how things come off a person's credit report even if they're being reported correctly. I have a client in our program right now that's in an open Chapter 13, and the open Chapter 13's already been removed from 2 of the 3 credit reports.
Wait a minute. Did you just say, Randy, the guy is in bankruptcy already right now, and y'all managed to get it removed from 2 of the 3 reporting bureaus?
Correct. He's in an open Chapter 13, which means he's making a monthly payment because it wasn't a complete liquidation of debt. And during that process, because he can qualify, this individual can qualify for an FHA loan with trustee approval after 1 year. When the mortgage lending partner pulled their credit, they had things that were included in the bankruptcy that were still showing open and derogatory on their credit. And so we just needed to simply show that they were included in the bankruptcy. But in going through that dispute cycle process, yeah, 2 of those Chapter 13 bankruptcies, even though it's still open, have already been removed.
Amazing, amazing.
So let's move on to myth number 5. It's illegal or immoral to have the information on your credit report altered or removed. And not only is it not illegal or immoral, but it's what the Fair Credit Reporting Act is all about. This enact was created in 1971 by Congress for the very purpose of protecting consumers from the intrusion of credit agencies into our lives. I don't even refer to creditors any longer as creditors. I refer to them as predators, because predators prey on the weak. If you're a lion in the jungle and you see a weak animal, that's what you're going to eat, and that's going to provide your food, because you can catch it and take advantage of it. And that's the same thing with consumers. I know if Mike went into the Audi dealership today and he had an 800 credit score, he's going to get a much better deal on that brand new Audi than I'm going to get if I roll in the door with a 500 credit score, because that dealership knows, being a predator, that they can definitely take advantage of me, because I'm going to be paying more for the car, a higher rate, and I'm just not going to get the deal that Mike's going to get. So myth number 6, paying a past due debt removes it from your credit report. And just because you pay an old debt doesn't actually change or erase the fact that at one time you were not paying it on time as you had agreed. And oftentimes, even if somebody's being reported past due, we can change that record. We had a client that had made a truck payment 30 days late one time. However, his credit union was showing it as a rolling 30-day late 13 times. So after we disputed that item, they not only corrected it to no longer show, so there was no longer showing past due, they actually just corrected it to show paid as agreed. And that's one interesting thing about creditors. Creditors don't make money reporting credit at all. Especially if it's a derogatory account, because if it's been charged off, they've already moved on from you. And so the last thing that a creditor wants to do is spend a lot of time going back and correcting items that they're not getting paid for. So myth number 7, inquiries are not derogatory and will not affect your credit standing. And really, anything that goes on your credit report is damaging to your credit, especially in the case of inquiries, because 1 or 2 is not too bad, but any more than that, and they begin to tell a story, and oftentimes it's going to affect your credit score, because an inquiry is an item that's going to lower your credit score. We recently had a client that was in contract to buy a home. They were a home buyer, and they had applied for a mortgage online with some company that basically ran their credit report like 15 times and sent it out to a bunch of different mortgage lenders. Their credit score dropped from the point where they would qualify. They were originally in the 650 range. They dropped down to around a 617 and could no longer purchase a home because their credit had been pulled so many times. After enrolling in our program, they had their credit score improve back to over a 765 within a very, very short period of time, so that they could requalify and follow through on their purchase. So myth number 8 is if you get a derogatory item removed, it will just come back. Now, this is a question that I get a lot. If an item is removed legally, it's not coming back on. 99.9% of the time, when we get something removed off of somebody's credit report, it doesn't come back on. The only time that it really does come back on is, let's say that it's a collection, and the collection, we were able to get it removed or deleted from the credit report, but then that collection company, because they hadn't been collecting on the dent and maybe it was a dormant account, they sold that to a new company. Then that new company may re-report. Now, if let's say somebody had a bankruptcy or a foreclosure on their credit and we get that deleted from their credit, that item's not coming back on, because those items only report one time at the time that they're filed. Now, there are also individuals out there that we call repeat offenders, where they'll get something corrected on their credit report and then make the same mistake at some point down the road. But that, hopefully, our education program that our clients are going through are taking care of that, so that those don't happen again. And we're almost through. We're almost finished with the myths. Myth number 9: a debt collector can call you repeatedly at work, threaten to sue you, take your house, or put you in jail if you don't pay up on old credit card bills and debt. The one thing that we always tell individuals is they need to know their rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, because knowledge is power. Creditors can't do that. They must follow the actual guidelines of the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. Creditors violate those all the time because they're willing to pay the fines and fees, because ultimately they end up collecting more than the fines and fees. So one thing that an individual can do is they can send their creditor a debt validation letter. They can send it certified mail within 30 days of the initial contact from the collector. So if you have clients that are getting collection calls, they just need to ask the collector for a fax number, so that they can and an address, so they can send them the letter via fax and send it via certified mail. They can also send them a do not contact letter, so that they can only communicate with them in writing. So if they're getting collection calls, we're going to stop those right away. And let's wrap up with myth number 10 before we really jump into the meat and potatoes of everything today, and that's I can't restore my credit on my own. And you can absolutely restore your credit on your own. It's just like you can represent yourself in a court of law as an attorney, like our example here, but you could also sell your home on your own. But as real estate professionals, we know that we can do a much better job listing and selling a person's home and ultimately net them more money and put more money in their pocket and make it a much less painful experience, and at the same time protect their legal liability that they may have better than a homeowner can do it on their own. And so we really use that Fair Credit Reporting Act to educate and leverage rights. So let's move on and really talk about what's going on out there. Let's talk about today's realities that all of our clients and consumers are really going through. It's a fact that many people have lost their jobs. We deal with the people that are losing their homes right now through short sale and foreclosure. Loan modification, a lot of our clients are going through loan modifications or have gone through loan modifications. All those people were in default. We want to help them get back to the point where they can qualify. Lots of people have lost all their savings and investment. 58% of the population currently does not pay their credit card balances in full every month. The average U.S. credit card debt's over $17,000. And individuals with more than $20,000 in credit card debt are likely to miss payments and see interest rates skyrocket and credit scores plummet. And it's really interesting because I have a client that was going through a short sale with Nation Star Bank, and the short sale hadn't even closed on their property yet, and this individual went out to rent an apartment, and when they pulled their credit to determine whether or not they would rent them an apartment, they declined them because Nation Star had already reported their short sale on their credit as a foreclosure, even though the sale had not yet even taken place. So there's a lot of things happening out in the credit world that the individuals don't even realize. And today your credit score is like a vital sign. It's being monitored at all times. And this is a really scary fact. About 25% of the population has a 599 credit score or below. That's 43 million people. That means that there's 43 million potential home buyers out there that can't even buy a home. And that's our market. So we want to get those people into the market as fast as we can. And over the course of a lifetime, less than excellent credit could cost an individual anywhere from $200,000 up to $1 million in interest and additional penalties and fees. So credit reporting agencies, when they report credit, understand that about 80% of all the credit reports have errors on them causing lower credit scores. At one point in time, I went to refinance one of my properties. I went in, they pulled my credit. Somebody had merged my mother's credit report with my credit report, and it showed that I had about 146% debt-to-income ratio, so I couldn't even refinance. By the time I got that mess straightened out, interest rates had gone up over 1.5 points, and I ended up paying a heck of a lot more for my mortgage. So I know from personal experience how that can affect an individual and how you can end up paying more. About 83 million people don't know what their credit score is or what's currently on their credit report. And I talk to people all the time and say, well, I know what's on my credit report. Well, most people don't find out what's on their credit report if it's derogatory until they go to make a major purchase and get turned down for their loan, because credit gets reported on a monthly basis. So sometimes if your identity was stolen, you're not even going to know that somebody got a loan in your name after months and months go by, and that may become a derogatory item, which identity theft right now is the #1 white-collar crime in America, and an identity is stolen every 3 seconds. So just in the amount of time that we've been on this webinar today, there's been lots and lots of people that have had their identity compromised. You can go to annualcreditreport.com for your free credit report. We suggest that you stagger that every 4 months. So just pull your Experian report or Equifax or TransUnion right now, and then every 4 months pull the other reports so that you're seeing what's on your credit. Now, when you pull those free reports on annualcreditreport.com, they don't give you a credit score, because that's how the credit reporting agencies make their money, is by selling credit scores. And so what you want to do if you want to know your credit score, go to creditkarma.com and you can purchase your score. Now, credit affects all areas of our lives. We know that about 43% of employers use credit scores as a factor and determine who they're going to hire, sometimes who they're going to promote. It determines how much we pay in interest for our mortgage, for our cars, for security deposit. It also affects our auto insurance premiums. Auto insurance premiums, and a lot of people don't know this, they can increase our auto insurance premium up to 143% higher for an individual that has less than perfect credit. We had a client that lived in New York City, and insurance is very, very expensive in New York City, and because of her credit score improving, she actually saved over $2,000 per year on her insurance premium. Credit affects marriages, it affects self-esteem. You know, it can definitely stress somebody out, especially if you're a new home buyer. I mean, that's one of the fears, is that you're going to get denied your mortgage loan, and most of the time it really, especially according to that USA Today article we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, you know, it's definitely going to affect whether or not you get that loan. And then ultimately it affects your financial freedom. So we're going to talk just briefly about you know, how it affects people, and we're going to move on. Again, for those of you that joined us on the webinar after we started, towards the end we're going to go through you know, how you can get a loan after a short sale. We're going to talk about how you can get them removed from your credit here in just a few minutes. But you know, if a person does have a lower credit score, they're going to feel ashamed, powerless, overwhelmed, and sometimes people just have no hope. And we're here to provide the education that people needed a long time ago, because I know when I went through high school and college, there weren't classes on, you know, really how to go out and get credit and how to use credit properly. Most people learn about that from the school of hard knocks, is what it really comes down to. So
Randy, I'm sure you'll agree too, you know, as people, you know, most of the people on this call right now are agents who do a lot of short sales and have a lot of experience with that. And by the way, guys, we'll give you copies of these slides, and we will answer all of your questions at the end. We got a few more minutes of this, and then we're going to open it up for questions. But I just wanted to point out, you know, Randy's talking about how we deal constantly with people and the effects of credit, you know, really hurt them, and they cause them to feel ashamed, powerless, overwhelmed, have no hope. Our job as agents who do short sales are really to help people find hope, right? You know, we work with people that are just totally beat down from their financial situation quite frequently, that are facing foreclosure, that people won't stop calling. We deal with this directly. It's great, and it's quite rewarding. And Randy, you're an agent who's done a lot of short sales, so it's quite rewarding when you can help somebody find some hope, right? Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely. Okay, let's keep moving forward. We talked a little bit about some education. It's almost impossible to watch TV and not see or hear an advertisement about credit. Listen to the radio. You know, if you drive down the freeway through the middle of our town, you're going to see a lot of the home builders have huge billboards out there, you know, that say that they're fixing credit to help people buy their homes, because the market's picked back up. Home building starts have really taken off again, but what the home builders are learning is they have a lot of people that want to buy their homes or building, but they can't because of credit, because they were these individuals that came out of the short sale or had some bumps in the road, you know, went behind at some point in time, maybe modified, and now they're selling now as a traditional sale, but just can't repurchase. And so it's really important as real estate agents that we embrace that market. I strongly suggest that everybody read the book Who Moved My Cheese, because the cheese is moving again, and if you don't move with the cheese, you know, we're going to starve. And so you know, credit, as the economy picks back up and people want to get back into the market, you're going to get these questions more and more. And so we want to make sure that you're able to answer them correctly. So what's the length of time that following items stay on credit report? I have I have potential home buyers and I have sellers ask me this at listing appointments all the time. A bankruptcy, whether it's a Chapter 7, 11, or a 13, is going to stay on a person's credit for 10 years. Collections stay for 7 years. Public records stay for 10 years. Those are judgments. Inquiries stay on a person's credit for 2 years. Check systems for banks stay for 5. Telechecks for merchants stay for 5, and scans for merchants stay for 5. And it's ironic. I was just at a real estate convention this past weekend, and when I got to the airport to pick up my rental car, the rental car company that I rented from, if an individual was renting a car with a debit card, they're required to pull their credit. There were 2 people in front of me. There was a pretty long line when I got there. There were 2 people in front of me that were denied rental cars because they didn't pass their credit qualification. And these were individuals that had booked their rental cars online, got to the airport thinking they were going to have a car to drive, and because they just had a debit card and a low credit score, they couldn't even rent a car. And they were pretty upset. So I mean, just some real shocking things that you don't normally see, but they're definitely out there. Collections, judgments, and liens. Sometimes we tell our clients don't be too quick to pay an old collection account, because depending on if they're just getting a loan or if they're just repairing their credit, because oftentimes even if they pay that old debt, it still would be on their credit. And oftentimes we can, especially if it's really old, we can just get deleted from their credit without them having to actually pay the debt. And now, if something gets deleted from a person's credit, that doesn't mean that they don't still owe the money. It's not like a get out of free debt card, but they, we can definitely get that removed, help them improve their score. Our goal is to show that judgments reflect as satisfied when paid, and collections reflect as paid when paid, and that liens reflect as released when paid. Those are the most important things when you're going to be applying for new credit. And just to kind of recap a little bit about credit reporting agencies, they are privately held billion-dollar companies. Most of the employees that work from their companies are not in the U.S. They do not verify items placed on credit reports at all. They pay exorbitant amount of fines each year for failing to update credit files correctly, because they don't make money verifying anything on credit. They make money selling credit files. And so keep in mind, they're not on the consumer side at all. They're a for-profit business. We talked about the Fair Credit Reporting Act that was enacted in 1971. I strongly suggest that everybody, you can just go to Google if you like. You can go to our website, united-credit.org. You can download a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but take it and read it. It's really, really interesting information. And really, as a consumer, we should know what our rights are. And just so everybody does know, you can restore your score. We talked about this. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the right to dispute and or investigate any item on your credit report. These include inaccurate, erroneous, obsolete, late payments, charge-offs, foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, bankruptcies, tax liens, collections, short sales, medical bills, and really any other item. Officer recovery services, for example, those things definitely can be removed from a person's credit report. A little bit about FICO and the FICO facts. That's a Fair Isaac credit organization. It measures whether or not a person's moving towards bankruptcy or away from bankruptcy. That's really what a credit score determines. Scores are damaged by the most recently reported derogatory information on a person's credit report. So a more recent example would be a past due payment is going to lower the score much quicker than an older derogatory item. Derogatory information reported prior to 2 years can definitely still impact a score. And the most interesting thing about the FICO credit reporting process or algorithm is there are 88 negative rating factors and only 5 positive rating factors for a person's credit report. So the system is set up for failure for a consumer. So it's very, very difficult for a person to obtain the ultimate 850 credit score that we should be able to attain, because the system's just not set up for us to attain that. So there's some the things that are the scoring factors that a person can actually control to help boost their credit score. 35% of your payment history equates for your credit score. 30% is amount owed. So a lot of times, we see consumers with low scores and no derogatory items. And a lot of time the reason why is because their credit cards are maxed out. The revolving limit available is too low. 15% is the length of credit history, so if a person just has a lot of new stuff, they might have a lower score even if it's really good. 10% is new credit, and then 10% is the type and the number of credit cards that a person has available to use. So these are really the factors that make up the FICO score. Higher FICO scores help consumers obtain loans faster. Really, in order to get the best credit terms, conditions, and rates, you need to have a 750 credit score or higher. The decisions for credit become much fairer at that point. Older credit problems count for less, especially a bankruptcy. We have a client that when they enrolled in our program, they were a 472 credit score. Within about a 9-10 month period of time, their credit score was back up over 700, even though they still had that bankruptcy on their credit. They had more credit available. Credit rates become lower overall, and then with an understanding of the system, a person can really improve their credit rating from a D credit rating to an A credit rating in a very, very short period of time. This is our informational website. As I mentioned, hopefully everybody has a pen and piece of paper handy. You can go to united-credit.org. This is the information portal that our clients use once they become a client with our company. And on the top right-hand side, there's a login button. When a person logs into our website, they're going to see their initial FICO score. We're going to post that there for them, and they can see what that is. Once they've logged into the system, they're going to be able to see all three of their credit reports. Our company does pull all three credit bureaus. Now, consumers out there today have to be very, very careful because there are a lot of scams out there. And when a person gives somebody their money and enrolls in some type of program, if that person says to them, okay, now I've got your money, you need to go out and you need to go see a car dealership or you need to go see a mortgage broker, and they need to pull your credit, and then you need to take that report and bring it back to me, those are the individuals that a person has to be really cautious about. Where we're very different, we're actually going to pull all three of their credit reports. And Mike, if you'll just move forward one more screen, it's going to show how a person logs in. They can see their initial FICO score, for example. This person here has a FICO score of 574. They're also going to have some document downloads down below. They're going to have the dispute letter instructions, creditor's harassment letter, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Fair Credit Reporting Act, a debt validation letter is going to be there and available for them. So lots of information, lots of education. The next thing that we're looking at here is this is great not only for the client, but it's also perfect for your preferred lending partner, because once we have a client in our recovery program, you can work hand in hand, or we can work hand in hand with your preferred lending partner, where they can have access to this customer portal so that they can see what items are currently in dispute, what have been deleted off the individual's credit report, so they know when to repull credit, they know when to re-credit qualify, and then get that buyer or that individual back to you as a home buyer so that you can take them out and put them in another home. And again, all three of the credit reporting agencies and what's being disputed on all those reports are listed there. So just a little bit about our company, United Credit Education Services. We've been in business for over 10 years. We have a phenomenal track record. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, which for a company like ours, that is phenomenal, because most most companies that are credit restoration or repair companies out there have no rating whatsoever because they're afraid of a rating, because frankly, again, I mentioned there are a lot of scams. We've served over 160,000 clients. We've removed over 600,000 derogatory items from people's credit reports. We've removed over 60,000 public records. And our company has a 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee, which was very important to me when I was referring my clients. I wanted to make sure that if they didn't have a good experience, that they were getting their money back. Because I'm sure that there's lots of people on today's webinar that have maybe referred somebody to maybe say a loan modification company in the past. They took $3,000 from your client and then they vaporized or went out of business, and all that came back on you. I never wanted that to happen with my clients, so I went and found a very reputable, stable company. And as I mentioned, they have the 100% satisfaction money back guarantee. So today, this morning, I went to our website. I pulled out our success rate that our clients can see. As of today, our company's removed 152,698 late payments, over 409,153 collections, 69,538 public records, and we've corrected 25,670 items on personal information on a person's credit as of today, because we update our service every day. There are companies out there that charge a lot of money for doing what we do, and that's one of the questions that we get that's most common is, how much is this going to cost me? And other companies, believe it or not, charge in excess of $5,000 to do what we do. For a far inferior service without the accolades and the rating that we have and the satisfaction guarantee. But the best part is we don't even charge $1,000. Actually, it's half of that. Our annual program, which is 1 year worth of service, it's 5 rounds of letters with all 3 of the credit reporting agencies, regardless of the amount of derogatory items on a person's credit, is only a $499 investment for the consumer. And as I mentioned earlier, our unique value proposition of buy your home with me, we'll fix your credit for free. I'm not fronting that money for my buyers or my sellers. We're simply having them enroll in the program, and then when we get to closing, we're giving them a broker credit. In fact, it doesn't even cost me the full $499 because I'm actually splitting that with my lending partner. So, if we worked with an individual that we sold as a short sale, we fixed their credit, got them back on track, put them in their home, we're just simply giving that buyer a broker credit at closing, which is a very minimal amount. But at the same time, that person stuck with you through the whole process. They were motivated to get back into home ownership as quickly as possible, and at the same time, they didn't jump ship on the lending partner either. So because of the short sale specialist network, I'm sure everybody on this webinar today has an 850 credit score. Don't you think so, Mike? Everybody has an 850 credit score.
No, I as an agent myself, I got to be frank, I'm going to be honest. A lot of us as real estate professionals, we got hit the hardest several years back. A lot of us were the ones buying lots of properties and investing in real estate. A lot of us were, ones that were living, based off of selling 50 or 100 homes a year in the boom days, and when that disappeared, a lot of us had really tough stuff to deal with, and I'm one of those people myself. And I know this much. I would bet money that real estate professionals in general actually have lower scores than average. It really wouldn't surprise me right now, all that's happened. So, even you guys yourselves that are on this call right now, a lot of you guys probably need some help with your credit too here. Again, we're going to take questions in just a minute. Everybody's like flowing in with tons of questions right now. We're going to take them in just a minute, but make sure you grab that pen and paper. Everybody on this call, for each person you sign up today, including either you or if you have a client in mind now, write down this code, SSSN0606. That's SSSN0606. And look, you can get $100 off of it, get it for $3.99. I think when Randy's mentioning this, Randy, you're talking to them personally, yes?
Yes. Yep. You can simply refer your clients to us. We'll reach out to them. We'll get them enrolled in the program. If the client just happens to be you, we'll get you set up. We'll get you enrolled in the program, and you can take advantage of the service. That still comes with our 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee. But before we wrap up, we still have some valuable information to share with you. I'm still going to share with you how to get somebody into a property one day after the short sale takes place. And that's a very common question. That was really kind of the theme of today's webinar, is how long does a person have to wait after they do a short sale before they can qualify for a home loan. One thing that I've done is I've gone out and I've explored just about every avenue there is to find the loan programs that are out there. Now keep in mind, lending may loosen up. The guideline might change in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months yet. We don't know. But if you don't have your client in some type of recovery program, they're not going to be ready when the time's right, because with credit, the longer you wait, the longer you wait. It's kind of like a disease. If you have a disease and you don't go to the doctor and get a prescription for it or do anything about it, then eventually you're never going to get better, and you may actually get sicker. And so I have gone out. I've found a company with it's a Priority Financial Network. They can do a one-day after short sale mortgage loan. So if you close the short sale today, they can do the loan tomorrow. In fact, Eric there has actually been pre-qualifying short sale sellers to buy their next home before their short sale even takes place. Now currently this company is only able to do loans in California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and very soon in Nevada, and very soon in Florida. They're just working on their final paperwork. But I do know that if Eric can do those loans, there's somebody in other states that can do these loans as well. So here's what you're looking for when you're talking with your mortgage lending partner. You're looking for a company that will do a portfolio loan. This loan that Eric's currently doing is backed by an insurance company. So somebody has realized that the market's on the rebound and that they're now willing to take a risk that they weren't willing to take a short time ago. So again, there's no waiting for this program. One of the caveats to this is no default can be reported on a person's credit. Now we all know that in today's environment, a person can do a short sale without going past due. That's a new Fannie Freddie guideline. That's a half a guideline. About the only loan where a person has to actually pay past due is on an FHA loan, and what they consider default is one payment past due, 31 days. Well, even if somebody goes through the short sale process, and let's say they didn't make a payment for 2 years, that's okay, because if they enroll in our credit restoration program, as long as we can get that to show that it was even settled for amount less than owed, short sale, paid as agreed, it can say any of those things, as long as we can get it to show that there were no past due payments, which we can oftentimes do, then that person's going to qualify right away. So even if you have a short sale seller that sold and was in default, that's still okay. They just need to take advantage of our program. If somebody maybe has a short sale, didn't go past due, has the ability to purchase, they don't even need the credit restoration program. It's up to an 80% LTV. It's a conventional term, and rates are only 1% to 2% above current market rates, so it's not like they're out there taking advantage of lots of people. Now, with a traditional short sale and a traditional lender, typically the waiting period is going to be 2 to 3 years. Now, oftentimes you can reach out to credit unions. I know there's a lot of credit unions out there right now doing mortgage loans when the individuals were only maybe 12 to 24 months out. So the whole key to that is asking your lending partners to see what they can do for you. And as I mentioned, once a person goes in our program, we're going to work with your preferred lending partner, and we're going to monitor them to the point where they qualify to go out and repurchase a home from you as their agent. And talk about the referrals that you get, especially when you help somebody out of a situation that they weren't excited to be in the first place. So let's give you the website that your clients can go to and watch a brief video about our company and our services, because we don't expect you to explain everything that we just showed you on this webinar. We've made it very, very simple. You can just send your clients to fixcreditscoreinfo.com, or excuse me, fixcreditscoreinfo, and it's going to show them a really short video that explains everything that we just went through and how they can enroll in our program and the benefits for them. So that website again is fixcreditscore.info. Now, and
absolutely, like Randy mentioned just 1 second ago, is look, you know, we covered that, you know, yes, items can be removed from credit. I mean, as somebody, an agent who works with homeowners around the country, I've done thousands of short sales. I can't tell you, it's a very high percentage of the time. Short sales are reported incorrectly on people's credit reports. These lenders and servicers are reporting them as foreclosures time and time again. There's so many times that those items with a proper program set up that has the resources right there and the tools to really give homeowners or home buyers, potential buyers, control of the situation and control of the credit to get these items completely removed. And Randy mentioned too, a lot of times, obviously we want things to be reported correctly. And as he mentioned, a lot of the time in the process of forcing them to report correctly, they actually report to the benefit of the homeowners. They'll actually go and, you know, report a short sale as paid in full. I've seen that many times when it's not really quite the case. So here's what you guys need to do. You know, the bottom line is the key to get your client into, you know, to become a buyer quickly is to get them into a recovery program as quickly as possible. You want to look good as their real estate agent. You want, you know, obviously as people who care for homeowners in hardship, we are advocates. We are people who are there to advocate for homeowners. Instead of just advocating for their short sale, why don't you, you know, it's good to do them a real service and be an advocate for them finding hope, for finding a future, and that's going to start with repairing their credit. So when you go to fixcreditscore.info, here's another slide that Randy mentioned as well. You know, that is actually my personal site there, fixcreditscore.info. I'm going to take you there in just a second, and we'll answer any questions you have about the site. But you can find out all about the services, and you could sign up yourself with that discount code today and get your own credit repair right at fixcreditscore.info. All you have to do is go on there. You'll find out how to register. You'll be able to enter that information on there. I'll give you a 1-800 number to call in just a second. And there's videos on there to explain exactly what we do, how the services work, and really show you, as well as any consumers that you have in mind, anybody that might be a potential person for this program, exactly what they can do and what to do to take action. Randy mentioned as well, tell them a little bit about the agent affiliate program, Randy.
Yeah, let's jump to that, but before I do, I just noticed a question that popped up that said, how fast do you see results? And that's a great question, and I'd like to answer that before we get to the Q&A. We see results in as little as 45 to 60 days. I have a client that entered our program in March, and literally within a 40-day period of time, 45-day period of time, they went from a 613 credit score to a 737. Now that puts them from not qualifying to qualifying very, very quickly, and now we're out shopping for a home. And so, you know, results are going to vary. I had another client last year that went from a 509 to a 727 in 120 days, but then we've had individuals that have had to stay in our program much longer because sometimes the damage just isn't, you know, all the way done. So, but that was a great question. Our agent affiliate program, I know there's lots of agents on the webinar today that are always looking for ways to generate more revenue for their business, offset their marketing costs, because as real estate agents, let's face it, we are entrepreneurial. We are unemployed every single day. Our jobs every day are to go out and interview for the jobs of selling homes and helping buyers buy homes. So we do have an agent affiliate program available. And if you're interested in learning about our agent affiliate program, you can go to www.ucesvideo.com and simply watch the video and then contact our office for more information. But there's definitely a huge opportunity in our marketplace right now. Our company, United Credit Education Services, frankly, right now we don't have a lack of customers. What we do have a shortage of is affiliates with our company. And so visit ucesvideo.com and and watch that short video, and then let us know if it's something that you're interested in learning more about. Ultimately, you could end up not only generating some extra revenue for yourself, but you could also end up getting our services for yourself for free. So today's message, and I know that Mike's going to walk us through his site here in just one second. If you have a low credit score, you have a legal right to do something about it. The only reason that I can think of that someone would accept bad credit is that they're unaware that they can actually change it. And once a person knows that they can change their credit score and get things removed off their credit and they still don't, well, that's kind of on them at that point. But our company does do 95% of the work. Last year in 2012, approximately 19,000 people used our service. 100% of them that followed our simple process had an increase in their credit scores. It's inexpensive. As I mentioned, we have that A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. It comes with a money-back guarantee, and we produce fast results. And the one thing that I didn't want this webinar to be today is a sales pitch, but this is a solution to a very expensive problem, and it's a way for us as real estate agents to go out and really get 2 paychecks instead of 1, which I know ultimately that's why everybody came on the webinar today, is to find a way to do more business. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, I implemented this program into my personal real estate business over 3 years ago, and it's been the best thing that I ever did for my business. I'm going to just share with you one last brief story about one of my clients that actually lost their home to foreclosure. After they lost their home to foreclosure, they were being denied credit for everything, and they enrolled in our credit restoration program. So here's a person that I was unable to save his home but still took advantage of our program. He enrolled in the program and was so satisfied that he started referring friends and family members to us. Well, those friends and family members ended up becoming real estate clients of ours. And over a 12-month period of time, just that one person that enrolled in credit restoration for a $499 investment actually generated $43,000 in real estate sales revenue for our company. And so you just don't know the person that you're going to help that's going to continue to help your business grow, because they were really satisfied because you provided a service for them that nobody else was able to provide, and you really separated yourself from all the other agents in your marketplace. So just remember your unique value proposition. Buy your home with me and we'll fix your credit for free. Sell your home with me, we'll fix your credit for free. Just something great to add to your to all the arrows in your quiver when you're talking to buyers or you're working with your short sale sellers. Now on the screen we did put up our toll-free number. You can call our office with any questions. It's 1-800-480-1917. That's 1-800-480-1917. Enter extension 2222. That's 2222. That's 4 2s. If you get voicemail, leave a message. We will always get to your call as quickly as possible, and you can visit the website at fixcreditscore.info. That's going to take you to watch our brief video about our company. When you get there, if you're interested in the products and services that we offer, you can just simply click on that tab. And Mike, do you want to pull that up really quick so that everybody can see where they can go on your website, and we'll answer some questions?
Absolutely. Let me hit the escape button here. I exit out of here. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, let's just type it in here. FixCreditScore.info. All right. This is actually, yeah, I'm proud of this site. This is actually my personal affiliate site. That's why I wanted to take you guys here. This goes over, though, all of the different services provided by Financial Education Services. So, there's a lot of different information on here. When you get off of this call right now, if you're interested at all in either becoming an affiliate or offering credit repair services to customers of yours, or even getting credit repair for yourself so you can get back on track financially, so you can start even saving money on items like insurance, I highly suggest check out the site right away and see, all that's on here. I'll tell you what, I've looked around for something like this for a while. This is an outstanding way to get residual income and to really help your customers as well. Remember, we're in the business of helping people, especially those of us who really have built businesses around doing short sales. We're in the businesses of offering hope to people. This is a great way to offer hope for a new future to people, as we do with the short sale. And to say, hey, look at the long-term picture here. Yes, you're losing this home here, but look, we can help you get, forgiven of your deficiency in a short sale, get a short sale closed, and most importantly, get you on a credit repair path to where you can move on in the future, get your credit rebuilt, and get a new property quickly in many cases. And as Randy shared, if we can get these homeowners on the path to short selling and then buying again quickly, man, I'll tell you what, right now their prices are so low in much of the country, they're going to get more affordable payments. They're going to get their payments down. This is how we earn lifelong customers, when we really offer them services of value. So remember, FixCreditScore.info. If you have any questions, you can also email firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com, firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com, or again, just give us a call at 800-480-1917. That's 800-480-1917. Make sure you dial extension 2222. Okay, 2222, and all of this can be found on FixCreditScore.info. Randy, do you have anything to add before we open this up to questions?
Mike, just as I mentioned, with credit, if you don't do anything about it, it doesn't change. And so if you're interested in doing something at some point in time, don't wait. Get started right now. Take advantage of the $100 savings, or take advantage of our agent affiliate program. It could literally be the very best thing that you do for your business, not only in 2013, but as the economy improves in 2014. You have to be thinking long term, because remember, sometimes with credit, it's not a quick fix. You may have a client in our program for 12 to 24 months, but just imagine having a pipeline of customers, where a pipeline of clients where every month you have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 people popping out as pre-qualified buyers that you can go out and put in homes. And that's where you're really going to capitalize and take advantage of our program.
Now, a few questions I want to answer that I know I can. People ask, where is the video for affiliates? If you're interested in becoming an affiliate, if you go to, there's a couple ways you can get there. FixCreditScore.info. If you're on that site, you scroll down and you hit career opportunities right here, or opportunity right here. This will take you to a great video that goes over the affiliate program. Isn't that right? Yeah, this is the affiliate video here.
Correct.
Now, what is that domain name that you mentioned to me that'll drop right on this page as well?
That is ucesvideo.com.
UCES video. U as in UCES is in United Credit Education Services, video.com.
Correct.
UCESvideo.com. And you just click that domain over, boom, that drops you right on the same page. This has all of the info you need about how to become an affiliate as well. A few other questions I'm going to answer here real quick, and get the questions going, guys. You indicated earlier this is a PowerPoint slide presentation would be available. When, where, how? I've had a few requests for that already, so I guess I will email that out to you. If you're on this call or we're signed up for it, I'll make sure in the next couple days, by tomorrow, I'll get a link out. Also, as well, recording of this. Yes, this has been recorded. It is going to be available. You're going to receive a link for it tomorrow, and it will be available on our YouTube channel for Short Sale Lead Machine Program, which is, I mean, if you want to write this down, you're going to get a link for this, but it will be youtube.com/user/short sale lead machine. Okay? So again, that video started playing there. I have somebody right now, somebody said they want to register for credit repair. All you have to do is go to fixcreditscore.info. Where would somebody actually go right on here to register for credit repair, Randy? Under the products section?
They would click on products.
Products and credit restoration, enroll now.
Enroll now.
All right?
Yep. And when you get
learn, it's a very detailed site too. I want to share with you guys too, as far as resources, if you do become an affiliate, and the video will show you more, you're going to have access to all of these PowerPoints that you can give to people. You're going to have access to so many marketing materials like flyers that you can give to people at open houses, flyers that you can email to other real estate agents asking them to send people to you for credit repair services. All of that stuff is already available. There's just more of it than you could ever imagine available. Is that right, Randy? I was totally impressed by just dozens of different resources there.
Absolutely. All my property listing flyers have credit program information on the back of them, because if somebody drives past one of your listings, especially a short sale listing that's priced right, and pulls the flyer out of the box, but they have less than perfect credit. I have sign writers on all my properties that say, "We fix credit." I have a toll-free number. I have an IVR code on there. I also have sign writers that have my website domain on them. I have QR codes. So you just don't know who's going to drive by, think that they have less than perfect credit, that don't think that they can qualify to buy a home. They're going to pull that information out of the flyer and think, I applied for a mortgage loan a year ago. I didn't qualify. They told me no, and so I really don't even want to try. But now here's somebody telling me, look, bad credit's okay. So this person is saying a much different message than everybody else has told me. I'm going to give them a shot. And you'd be shocked how many times people call you or contact you, you get them to your preferred lending partner, and they qualify right away, and all of a sudden a week or 2 weeks later you're in contract and they're buying a home.
Absolutely. Wow. So again, everybody that's still on this call, you should still be able to see my screen. You can go to the website in just a minute. We had somebody ask, where do they enter the discount code when signing up? Is it on here? Where would they enter that at?
For the discount code, you need to contact our office, and we need to put that in for you. So if you're wanting to enroll today, you need to contact our office. We need to manually enter that discount code.
Okay, you guys heard that. So make sure you call the 800-480-1917, extension 2222. If there's going to be a lot of people calling, so it's okay to just leave a message. Randy will get right back to you. We will get right back to you and make sure you're on this, okay? And you do get advantage of the $100 discount, so don't worry about that.
Correct. And they can also
call that number or email firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com. We'll get you set up too.
Correct.
Now, somebody asked, will one registration repair husband and wife's credit?
No. And the reason why is, and that's a great question, the reason why is credit reports are individually based, and so it's per Social Security number. So a husband or a spouse or significant other is going to have something different on their credit than the other one may have. And so it is individual based. They both get their own individual logins for their 24-hour information portal. However, oftentimes what we'll do, if we do have a spouse or significant other enrolling in our program, we will offer the second individual a little bit of discount or savings. So the first individual may be enrolling typically at $4.99. The second individual, oftentimes we're able to enroll them in our service at a discounted rate of the $3.99. So there's definitely a bonus for two people enrolling at the same time. But the great part about our offer today is as anybody that's on the webinar, or if you have current clients or customers that you've been working with that want to take advantage of our program, we're willing to enroll all those individuals right now with the discount code.
Repeat the discount code again.
It is SSSN 0606, and we'll honor that discount code for anybody that's either on the webinar, or if you have a friend or a family member or a past client that you know that really wants to take advantage of this program right now. Have them just call our office. We'll get all your information, and we'll make sure that you're getting that $100 savings.
And again, that was SSSN, as in Short Sale Specialist Network, 0606, today's date. That's the discount code right there, guys. Okay, we're getting a bunch of questions, so let's get through here. Remember, if somebody wants to sign up as an affiliate today as well, can they do that on the site here right away? They can find out info right on the site directly.
They click.
Right? Yeah.
They click on Career Opportunity, and on the left-hand side, it's going to say Join Our Team.
Down here.
You just have to scroll down just a hair. Yeah, Join Our Team.
Join now. There we go.
Just join our team, and you can get started right there. The nice part about this is you can enroll personally, or you can also enroll as a business. If you have your real estate business set up as an LLC, you'll just need your EIN number. And then there's two different ways to get started with our company. One is just our standard affiliate program, and the other is as an affiliate with our company, receiving all the services that our company offers for yourself as well.
Okay, and Rose asked, will there be a rebroadcast of this webinar? No, there won't be a rebroadcast, but we're going to actually have this webinar available for replay tomorrow, and that's on our YouTube channel. Somebody else asked that. What is that again? youtube.com/user/short-sale-lead-machine. That's for Short Sale Specialist Network, Short Sale Lead Machine Program. That is our site there. You want to check out some of the great videos on there. If you need general training videos, there's a lot of good stuff on here as well you might want to check out. Do a lot of good training videos on lead generation and, of course, short sale websites, realtors, and all that stuff. We're not talking about that. You guys know enough about that junk already. All right, so let's get some other questions here and see if you don't know this one. It says, where do we look for a lender that's going to do these portfolio loans? Edith asked that. Where do we look for a lender that does those portfolio loans?
I would start with your preferred lending partners first, and start asking. If you're not in a state that Eric works in, one of the things that I've asked Eric is that if he can provide me with a name and number of a person that he may know that does a type of loan in the states that he is not in. And so if you're in a particular state and you reach out to your preferred lending partner and they don't know anybody that does portfolio type loans like this, send us an email, and we'll help do some due diligence and some research and see if we can point you in the right direction.
And somebody else asked also, where is the consumer video? You know, is there, I guess when you're on the home page of, if you want to send a friend here to fix their credit score, a potential client, fixcreditscore.info. You can check this out here, And this site is very easy to navigate around itself. It goes over all the products on here, what comes with them, success stories, so many testimonials. There's so much content on here. It's just unbelievable. It really is. So, check it out. When you get off this call, we get off this webinar, this really provides them with an easy step-by-step program and the resources and tools to really do this efficiently and effectively, get their credit restored. That's the key here. So, all right, let's keep moving with some questions here. We've got a few others here. Let's see. Repeat the discount, so we already did that. Broadcast. FHA and USDA both do loans immediately after short sale if the seller never fell behind and there was a valid hardship. I have done several. You are absolutely right. But the key is a lot of that depends on who the investor is on the loan and, if they required the seller to be late on payments, But nowadays, of course, a lot of that has changed. And you're right. If the seller was never late, many times that can be done immediately. Email you regarding lenders, Eric, or you can email First Coast Financial Services at gmail.com. So with anything related to, saying any questions you have, saying, hey, I want to get my credit repaired, what do I do? First Coast Financial Services at gmail.com, or visit, the website, fixcreditscore.info. That's www.fixcreditscore.info, or just give a call, 800-480-1917, extension 2222. All right, thanks again, guys, for participating in this webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've gotten something out of this and learned something. And most importantly, I hope you take some action to help yourself or help some of your clients get on a brighter future. Thanks again for participating. Have a great day.